Good morning. Yesterday, Accenture Federal Services announced it was bringing 1,400 new high-quality technology jobs to St. Louis County. A commitment of this magnitude by Accenture demonstrates a confidence in our region and expanding into our region. St. Louis County is the economic engine of Missouri, accounting for 1 in 4 jobs. We are proud of our workforce and our employers who have chosen to create business opportunities in the St. Louis region. But we have not been immune from the economic impact of COVID-19. Some businesses have been forced to close, and some have lost their jobs. With COVID-19, we are dealing with 3 crises. We have a public health crisis, a humanitarian crisis, and an economic crisis. To help with each of these, the federal government has sent $173 million in a federal stimulus grant. You can follow the spending of this grant by St. Louis County on our website, stlcorona.com, and follow along our transparency portal. We created the Small Business Relief Fund to address the economic crisis. We have set aside $17.5 million for grants to small businesses in our county. That process is underway, and we expect those to be distributed by the end of July. Also, as part of our economic response, we have created an economic rescue team. The economic rescue team will be the eyes and the ears of St. Louis County as we move forward. We are working to address the economic issues that have developed as we recover from our stay-at-home orders, and they are gradually eased. The team is designed to make sure that the eyes and ears of the small businesses are represented in this recovery. Though not a policy-making body, the economic rescue team will be playing a critical role. Among the team's duties will be to review the ordinances and regulations to remove any barriers to reopening of our small businesses. We want to make sure that our businesses are able to reopen safely and without any impediment to getting people back to work. The economic rescue team consists of a steering committee and 4 working groups. The members of the steering committee are Rick Stevens, the president of Christian Hospital, who's here with us today and will be giving remarks in a few minutes. Frank Jacobs, business manager of IBEW Local 1 and a member of the AFL-CIO Executive Committee in Missouri. Vita Jeffries, who is the executive director of the St. Louis Black Chamber of Commerce. Kelly McCoy, CEO and founder of Canva Group, a business consulting group. Dr. Jeff Pittman, Chancellor of St. Louis Community College. And Rodney Krim, CEO and President of the St. Louis Economic Development Partnership, will be an ex officio member. I'm honored that this talented group has committed their time and talent and energy to work through this challenging time. At this time, I'd like to ask Rick Stevens to come forward and tell us a little bit about the working groups that have been put into place. Rick?
Thank you and good morning. Thank you for having me. So the role of the steering committee is to involve county residents to serve on the working groups that focus on specific sectors. And those 4 specific sectors are minority and immigrant-owned small businesses. Vita Jeffrey, as mentioned, president of the Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce, will chair that group. The next working group is small business and industry. Kelly McCoy, the owner of the CEO of the Chandra Group, will chair that group. Vita and Kelly are also members of the steering committee as well. The next one is community development. Brian Phillips, he's the executive director and assistant vice chancellor at Washington University and has been instrumental in Forest Park Southeast, will chair the community development group. And then the last group is workforce development. Tiffany Davis, who is director of workforce solutions at St. Louis Community College, will chair this group as well. So the role of the working group. The role of the working group is to advise the steering committee of emerging issues impacting the recovery of business and workers within specific sectors. monitor, review, and recommend best practices based upon national and local models which support the safe and sustained operation of businesses within the working group's purview, and then provide guidance on the medium and long-term needs of businesses and workforce. Another role of the working group is to open direct lines of communication with thought leaders, industry groups, and individual businesses within the working group segment. Share information and updates with businesses and stakeholders within the sector on new programs or efforts supporting recovery. And then also provide periodic updates to the steering committee on communications with members of the business sector and emerging insights. And then the last one is, as the county exec already mentioned, review existing federal, state, and local public health and safety policies or programs through the lens of impact on sector-specific businesses, and then propose recommendations to the steering committee for amendments or new policies and programs which advance the recovery of businesses within the working group's purview. Each one of the working groups has 8 to 12 members of individuals throughout St. Louis County, and it's a diverse group of individuals, a diverse group of people that work in different businesses, and so we're very proud to be leading this charge and look forward to great recommendations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. All right, I can take a few questions. Anyone? Doug, do you have anything?
Channel 4 has a question.
Yes.
We heard that you're going to start doing in-person county council meetings. Is it next week or soon? Is that part of the plan? And what kind of got
There was a proposal to come up with a plan for in-person county council meetings, and that the time and place and meeting of the county council is purview of the county council chair. And she is in discussions with the public health department to find a way to safely move forward. The safety and the health of the people who come to speak at the meetings and the county council will be of top concern, but I understand that they are looking for a pathway to do that and that they don't have a timeline at this point.
And the other one is, there's been 400 plus cases the past 2 days in the state. Just talk about the concern that is for you, especially St. Louis being the hotspot there for such a long time.
Well, in St. Louis County, we issued stay-at-home orders really before just about anyone in the country. And in doing so, we believe we've put St. Louis County in a very good spot in this recovery. The hospitalization trends are down. The testing is much more available in St. Louis County. The positive to negative ratio of tests is hovering around 4%, and we think that's very good. And our stay-at-home orders have been widely accepted and adopted in our community. We're seeing a lot of people wearing masks. That puts us in a very good spot. We're concerned about what's happening in southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas, where they have a hot spot that's centered around Tyson food processing plants, and we're watching that very closely. We believe that's what's driving the statewide numbers at this point. So far in the St. Louis region, we're in a good spot, and in fact in the metropolitan areas in the state, the COVID-19 infections seem to have stabilized at this point. We have to keep our guard up, we have to keep our vigilance up, we have to maintain our public health orders and our social distancing as we gradually ease those orders. We're doing it in a thoughtful and responsible way to make sure we keep COVID-19 in check in our community.
If there was a dramatic spike in whatever that means, do you anticipate kind of rolling back in the opposite direction because we slowly open up, would you slowly roll back? Or is it kind of a cut it off, let's start from scratch again and shut things down?
Well, moving forward, we have a lot of testing in place. We have a lot of contact tracers working to, whenever there's a positive test, to contact everyone who's been impacted. We believe that in the future in our community, that if we do have a bump in positive tests or a spike, that it will be centered around a business or an industry, and we'll focus our efforts to contain the spread of that virus around that specific business or that industry. And that's why it's so important that our businesses follow our guidelines and help us keep the spread of this virus from getting out of hand in our community. But moving forward, we believe that any outbreak will most likely be centered around an individual sector or an individual business, and that's why we're working very closely with them to develop guidelines that are safe for their patrons and for their employees.
And the last question, do you feel like contact tracers, that we have enough of those in place? Is it kind of working well for what we have?
It's working very well in St. Louis County. We believe we have enough contact tracers in place, and we have a large pool of applicants to draw from if we need more. When we first opened applications for contact tracing in St. Louis County, within about 5 days, we had 800 applications. So we have a large pool available. We have over 100 working in this space, volunteers and full-time and part-time employees in St. Louis County. Anybody else? Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Take a virtual.